Hello everyone. Today we are going to start a new chapter, and the name of our chapter is Understanding Elementary Shapes. Now this chapter is somewhat, you can say, related to the earlier chapter, that is the basic geometrical concepts that we have learned. So from there this chapter is related. So it would be more, you can say, interesting since it is related to the earlier chapter. So let us begin. So first of all, what we'll do is we will be measuring line segments. So we all know this is very common thing, how to measure a line segment. We all know that, and also we know what is a line segment. So still we will recap that. So first of all, let us know what is a line segment. A line segment is a fixed portion of a line. It is a part of a line, you can say, but it is fixed. It has a fixed measurement, not like a line which is infinitely, you can say, going in both the directions. No, it's not like that. A line segment is fixed. So we have written here, it is a fixed portion of a line. Now next, the measure of each line segment is a unique. Yes, since it is fixed, so it will have a definite and unique, you can say, measurement, and that is called its length. The length of the line segment. Now to compare or measure any two line segments, we find a relation between their lengths. Yes, this length, the term length is very important while measuring two line segments. Yes, whenever considering line segments, so it is definitely referring to two or more line segments. So in order to measure the line segment, here we will be more focusing on the comparison based on their lengths. So this can be done in the following ways. There are three methods mentioned in your textbook. So let us see what are those methods. The first method is comparison by observation. Second one is comparison by tracing. And the third one is comparison using ruler and a divider. So everyone might be focusing on the third one, that comparison using a ruler. But yes, of course, we have not used a divider. So we'll be learning how to compare the line segments based on these three criteria of comparison. So let us see. First one is comparison by observation. So here nothing to do, just you have to open your eyes and just observe it carefully. So first example, let us see. Say we have two line segments, AB and CD. So what can you see in the picture? You can see that AB is somewhat larger in length than CD. This is obviously very much clear to you. So by the comparison of observation, what you can say? That the line segment AB is definitely greater than the line segment CD. Just by observing. We have not even measured it. Just by looking itself, we can say that the line segment AB is greater than the line segment CD in comparison to its length. But what if such cases doesn't arise? Say for example, it is not necessary that always the two lines or three lines, whatever line segments, so whatever line segments we are observing, they will always be very much different, you can say, or there will always be such a huge difference in their lengths. It is not necessary. Sometimes the case may also arise like this, that both the lines look almost alike in terms of its length. Then what to do? Then our observation might fail, because just by looking at the second picture, we are in a confusion that which one is larger than which one in terms of its length. So in that case, our comparison by observation fails. Then we have to switch on to the other method of comparison of the line segments. Just by observing, we cannot say exactly that two line segments or two or more line segments, which one is greater than which one. We can't say that just by observing. So let us then focus on the second method. So the second method is comparison by tracing. We all know what is a tracing paper. We might have used it in our smaller classes for the drawing purpose. So tracing paper is that it is a very you can say transparent type of a paper through which we can see the objects on the other side, or the letters and all those things. We can just trace it or trace a drawing. So by using the tracing paper also we can compare the line segments. How to do that? Let us see. Say we have two line segments, same AB and CD. Now here we will not be observing it. We will be using the tracing paper. So what we will do is that AB will be kept as it is. We will trace this CD and see if CD is greater or not than AB in terms of its length. So we'll place a tracing paper over CD and trace this much portion of the line segment of CD. Then what we'll do is that here comes A and B. It will be as it is. Then we'll put a tracing paper over this line segment CD and we'll trace this out with the help of a pencil. As we can see, it is very much visible then with the help of a tracing paper. Then we'll trace this on the tracing paper, and then what we'll do is that we will place that traced out line segment over, or we can say superimpose, means just above the line segment AB we will place it. So if we place it, we will see that this point C will exactly align with the point A, this C, and then we will see that the point D lies somewhere in between the point A and B. So obviously we got some idea. What we got the idea is that this line CD will be just lying above this line segment AB, but it is little bit shorter in length. So then what we can confirm from this is that this traced out, we can say, line segment CD is smaller in length compared to the line segment AB, because it didn't cover the full, it covered only a portion of the line segment AB. So obviously now we are confirmed that this line CD is smaller than in length than the line segment AB. Clear? But why we don't use this method also? This method is also having some demerits. The first thing is that tracing out has to be done properly. While tracing, we have to use freehand technique. We will not be using any scale or something. We will just put it above that line which we need to trace. Say for example, in this case we will have to trace CD. We will place the tracing paper over it and just draw with the freehand. So most of the cases what happens is that if we draw it freehand, sometimes the line segment may not be straight. Also there are errors of placing this over the other line segment which you are going to compare, as well as there are some other difficulties, that is availability of tracing paper and all those things. Also in some cases what happens is that this line may exceed the other line segment. This line segment may exceed the other line segment, it might cross it. In that case also we might find it little bit difficult in case of comparison. So taking into account all these demerits, even this method is not found to be suitable for measuring line segments. So we will go to the next method then, the third method, comparison using a ruler and a divider. This is little bit more updated, you can say, way of comparison. So as we know, with the help of a ruler, what to do is that although this diagram is not placed in 0, but we have to place this while measuring a line segment with the help of a ruler. We have to place this other end, you can say, where 0 is marked. We have to place it on exactly on one of the endpoints of the line segment. and the other we have to measure it. But what is the problem in it is that if we simply use a ruler, which we generally use for measuring a line segment, what happens is that there is something called positioning error. So what is this positioning error is that to get a correct measure, the eye should be correctly positioned, yes. While seeing what is the measurement or the length of the line segment, in most of the times we see it in a wrong way. How to measure it or how to see what's the value in the ruler is by directly, or you can say vertically, you have to see above the ruler. But most of the time we see through the sideways, through this side or this side. Then what happens is that the exact measurement we may not get the exact length. Say it is suppose 4.5, but through our eye we have seen it as 4.6. Some might even see it as 4.4. All this happens due to the position of the eye. We have to actually see it just vertically, straight down. That is vertical, straight down, you have to see it at 90-degree angle. But most of the time if you see from the sidewise, then we might get a wrong measurement. So in order to correct this positioning error, we will use a divider. So we know what is a divider. This thing is a divider. So what to do with the help of a divider is that we will place one point of the divider on one of the endpoints A and another point, or this pinpoint thing, on the other endpoint B. Then without making any changes in this divider, we'll just take it up and place it on the ruler. Clear? And then we will place one of the end in the 0 mark and the other wherever it places. So whatever measurement we get, that will be the correct measurement or the correct length of the line segment. Clear? But here also again the positioning error might occur, but here there is some less chances because we are using another tool, that is a divider. So by using the divider we can get the exact position or the exact length and measurement of the line segment. Here the chances of error is very low. Clear? So in this way you can measure the line segments. So although we can measure the line segment by any of the three methods, but for much accuracy and much preciseness, the third method or this method is mostly suitable, because here we can say the chances of errors are very less. So I hope you'll have understood all the three methods. You can again go back to your textbook and see for yourself. Also you can practice at home the three methods and see for yourself which is much suitable for you to measure a line segment. So that's it then. I hope you'll have understood today's video. So that's it. Thank you and have a nice day.